Ursula von der Leyen has firmly ruled out resuming purchases of Russian fossil fuels after the war in Ukraine, calling it a mistake of historic dimensions for Europe. Speaking to lawmakers in Strasbourg on Wednesday, May 7th, the European Commission president declared, "The era of Russian fossil fuels in Europe is coming to an end." Her strong stance comes amid Donald Trump's efforts to broker peace between Russia and Ukraine, which have echoed some Kremlin positions, including claims on Crimea and occupied territories. This has raised speculation that Russian energy might be part of a settlement, given its key role in Moscow's budget, and Putin's need to revive the economy. For years, the EU was Russia's biggest energy customer, but this collapsed after Russia's full-scale invasion in early 2022. Since then, the EU has taken unprecedented steps to reduce Russian fossil fuel use, including bans on coal and seaborne oil. As US officials suggest possible sanctions relief to encourage a Russian ceasefire, the EU's energy restrictions may face new challenges. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov noted talks about the future of the Nord Stream pipelines, which link Russia and Germany but are currently closed. He suggested the US might pressure Europe to accept Russian gas again. However, von der Leyen firmly rejected this idea. She said reopening Russian gas and oil supplies would be a huge mistake that will never happen. She pointed out Russia's repeated unreliability, citing gas cuts in 2006, 2009, 2014, 2021, and during the current war. "How many times must we learn this lesson?" she asked. She added that depending on Russia harms Europe's security and economy, and energy prices should not be controlled by a hostile neighbor. Despite EU efforts, some Russian fuels still enter the bloc. Last year, member states spent €23 billion on Russian energy, more than the military aid given to Ukraine. Liquefied natural gas imports from Russia have even grown, especially in France, Spain, and Belgium. According to the Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air, the EU's Russian LNG imports rose 9% in 2024, accounting for 52% of Russia's LNG export revenue. To close these gaps, the European Commission proposed an ambitious plan to end all Russian energy purchases, including LNG, pipeline oil, and nuclear materials, by 2027 at the latest. The plan includes banning Russian gas imports, allowing EU companies to break long-term contracts under force majeure clauses, avoiding heavy penalties. These bans will rely on energy and trade policies, needing only a qualified majority vote, unlike sanctions which require unanimity and can be blocked by individual countries. Hungary and Slovakia, still dependent on Russian energy, have criticized the plan, warning it could hurt EU competitiveness. Addressing the European Parliament, which strongly supports ending Russian fuels, von der Leyen called the strategy essential for a just and lasting peace in Ukraine. "We must do everything to strengthen Ukraine," she said, warning that Russia uses violence and intimidation in negotiations. She emphasized the need to help Ukraine resist pressure and negotiate peace on its own terms. She emphasized the need to help Ukraine resist pressure and negotiate peace on its own terms.